Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is BassyBoy. Welcome back to a brand new stream. I'm trying out a new setup with the audio and with the camera, so I hope everything is gonna be okay. Let me know in chat. Let's turn down the music a little bit. There we go. But yeah, for sure, do let me know how everything is going. Let me just place this on my other monitor. Let's see. Typically chaotic opening to the stream. Hopefully everyone is doing well. You guys really seem to like the trailer, which is something that I didn't expect. I also now bought a audio interface, so now I should be able to like tweak the and all the way back up. So that's like a really cool toy. But yeah, very happy to be here. Hopefully you guys are too. Today we're going to be renovating some more stadiums. I am now at a level where I've only got 18 or so left. So in a week time, we're going to have the release for the Patreon, which I'm really excited about. That is going to be kick-ass. And yeah, let's just get started. Thank you so much for the donation there, Rogish Babel. That is super appreciated. I can't see my chat for some reason. But thank you so much for the $8.22. Watching the games, but we'll watch later. Trailer looks lit. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. Right, shall we get into this Unity scene? Some things will never change. There we go. That is that back. I still don't understand why my multi-chat isn't working on my OBS. That is a bit of a weird one, but I'll see if I can fix anything. It should appear on stream, but I'm not sure. Hey Gibbo, what's up? Thank you so much for checking it out. So Twitch chat does work on my on the multi-chat. YouTube seems to be a bit of an issue, but yeah. I'm a bit of a troglodyte, but yeah, thank you guys so much. I am just... Hey, Phil, what's up, my dude? Now, there we go. Now both chats work again. That is great. Let's get started. So, thank you guys so much for joining. As you can see here, we are at Sheffield Wednesday. At Hillsborough, I should say. Now, Tom from TCS Skins, he used to make the skins for Jack for Work to Space. He's a Coventry fan. So in preparation, he also makes stadiums for PES. So in preparation, he sent me his Coventry, both the stadium and all of the associated stuff, which you can find on his Patreon. So we're gonna adapt Coventry today. We're gonna adapt the CBS Arena first, and then we're gonna go over into Serbia. So this will be one championship team. I have read on Wrexham. I have read on Watford, Southampton, of course Sheffield Wednesday. I redid Leicester. I redid Birmingham City. I redid Blackburn already, and I redid Hull. And I think I redid Middlesbrough. So it's only Sheffield United, Portsmouth, and Millwall remaining for the championship, and then we'll get the addition of Coventry. I've not redone Cheltenham, mate. Not yet, Gibbo. Still need to get into that one fully. I've also got Aldershot from non-league. So I'm doing them two together because a lot of the textures are shared and a lot of the structure of the stadiums are shared. So that way I can combine them and select the textures for both of them. So that is the reasoning behind that choice. Let's see. So let's go over to Cov. because both of them will need a full adaptation in Blender, which takes a long time. Because I want to get it right. I've got some new plugins now for Blender as well, which means I can I can optimize my working flow there a little bit better. Hey Pedro, as I just said, about 16 to 20. I don't have an exact number, but I would imagine somewhere around there. So still essentially the 3 of Greece I still have left. I still have all of the Serbian ones left. A few championship ones. And I believe Deportivo La Coruña. And I think that's it. So yeah, about 16. Now we need to go into the stadium scene splitter. You guys can't see this, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see, that is championship. That's correct. We'll add that stadium there, and we'll split the scene. The new things on the 3.0. It's so much that I cannot explain it. So I will do a big post with all the patch notes in it, and that post will just it's gonna be a super long one. I'm gonna say 70% of the bugs that were there before have been fixed. Roundabout. All the teams will have their benches in the correct place. So right now what we need to do first is the... Did I do the bulk importer? I did, I think. Yeah. Did I? So the normal mapping is not... Yeah, okay, I did. Cool. So this means I can... The textures to material mapper. That is good. England, we'll do championship, Cov. And select that folder. We'll do a dry run. And we'll apply them. So this will take a little while. Yeah, Pedro. Thanks to the lovely people on Patreon. And so whilst we wait, I'm going to go into this camera mode. So I can just talk with you without having to look at like the big scene. So the goal is that after 3.0, I just keep doing this. Because, number one, it is pretty much a job for me now as well. Like I use it now to support myself financially, which is a privilege. Which means I can keep doing this. And I just really enjoy doing them. So I have started some retexturings over in the lower leagues of Italy. I have started to be building some non-league ones. Hey Dean, what's up? So I do plan on keep doing this for as long as it keeps on. I still have about 15 to 20 ideas. And I get new ones every now and then. So I want to really get into volumetric clouds. And like a proper weather overhaul and a proper cloud system. Have water accumulate on the pitch. Have snow accumulate on the pitch. Like that sort of stuff. So I want to really go ham on the visuals. And I don't know if this is possible for 26. If it is, that is lovely. But if it isn't, I don't know for sure. But I don't think the changes in the match engine, is like the way the stadiums are operated, is going to be this big. So that is why I'm confident that I can just take it into FM27 as it is. Hey, Fran. Of course. But that is going to be, again, after 3.0. I'm going to go around the world. So the release stream, which will be out on the 16th as well. One of the big things for that is actually that I'm going to be doing a showcase for, well, all stadiums. So we're just going to go load up into a save or a few saves. We're going to go around all the stadiums that I've made. Just as a showcase. There'll be a separate installation video which I'm going to record tomorrow. With my new equipment. And And we're gonna see. But I really do want to go onto more. Yeah. Just spread the word. And thank you again so much for the donation, Babel. I need to review St. James's Park. Okay. And by the way, hey Devil. The Borussia Dortmund one. Yeah, I can make that. We can do that later. Right, so now it has finished. It has finished assigning the materials to the textures to the materials, which means that there is a few things we need to do first. We need to make that 0.15. I'm going to make everything opaque first. So it's going to look a bit awful now, but that is down to the fact that everything is now normal mapped. So I'm going to change the directional light to 80. So that way the pitch shadow, okay, from the structure does appear somewhat, but it's not too in your face. It's not like before. Now, thanks to Tom as well, TCS Skins. He taught me how to. Well, he essentially gave me a tool to import light in a different way. So that is one of the things that I'm using. If you don't know who Tom is, again, he made the TCS skins for Work to Space. Super good bloke. He's on Twitter as well. Give him a follow, give him a like. His stadiums are on Patreon. He also releases them for free for PES. So we're working together, which is really cool to see. Thank you so much, Fran, for the support. You know that, man. Always. I'll do my best to always reply to people. If you've got a question, you deserve to get it answered. But yeah. So he helped me out a lot with some of this stuff. So one of them is these lights, which is where a lot of the gains have been in this release. All right. And I'm also happy to say that I think I might have found a way to get the camera on the small, because that was one of the issues that are still on Patreon, is the camera in like low roof stadiums. Good evening, Dale. Hopefully you are well. I've seen your Greek stadiums, mate, and they look impeccable. So good. Well done, mate. But yeah, I think I found a fix for that. I'm not gonna share that yet because I need to first of all make sure that it actually works. But it's worked on 2 or 3 stadiums now, so I'm gonna try and implement that fix on stadiums like Bournemouth, like the Vitality Stadium, like what's it called, Selhurst Park, because those are still a bit buggy. But I really want to get this whole thing out and done well. So right now I've got everything that I need loaded. And since I exported it from Blender as a GLB file, I need to only rotate it on the Y-axis. You're starting the Turkish ones now? Yeah, I saw. The Turks are going to be so happy with you, mate. You've got no idea. But yeah, again, you guys really seem to like the trailer we did today. So I was up until 4 AM trying to get that fixed in time, like trying to get it out. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to those sorts of things, and there were still a few slight imperfections. But I was really happy with how the trailer turned out in the end. Really chuffed. Everything is getting better. And again, if I tell myself from 4 months ago where the pack is right now, I'd be laughing you to the bank. Like I'd be sending you off to an insane asylum. Because it's incredible the steps that I've been able to take and make. Now let's see. Let's go into the materials. So by the way, if you are new here and you like what you're seeing, make sure to leave a like on YouTube. Subscribe there as well. My goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And we are now on 8,500. I don't know why, but we gained like 1,000 subscribers in the last week. So big ups to everyone. And yeah, Just a big one. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. There are links in the description below to the download, to the Patreon, to the link tree, all the stuff that you should know if you're interested. Yeah, just in anticipation for this, I'm super hyped. And unlike version 1.0, which let's be real, it was a really cool tech demo. It wasn't that good of a release. Let's put it that way. Again, super cool tech demo, but I think the quality just wasn't there whatsoever. Which is why I'm so happy with the way 3.0 is starting to look. So this is glass. These are all glow, which we can ignore for the most part. Actually, what I can do with them, and it's kind of shit that I've removed them. Because we're going to be going back a little bit. There we go. So what I can do with these is make them transparent. One-sided only. And I put an HDR on this. Actually, that's not going to work, is it? Because I can't make it. I can't control the transparency effect. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Hey, Stefo. For me, yeah, it's going well. I'm really tired. I'm also a bit like I can feel the energy now though. As in it's starting to live a lot more. But I'm just tired. In the middle of the stadium. Yeah. Maybe that is something for the upcoming releases. Something we can excuse me. Something we can look into. Maybe can I change the shader? That's probably let's go glow. And I do only want the textures. We'll make it transparent. Just need to figure something out here. Right, so it does make it too. Is there nothing else I can do? Yeah, probably this one. Nah. It's too rough. I mean, it is glow. It can be played online, Ahmed. Yes. You're tired too? Sorry, things have been popping off in chat. Yeah, but that's true, Phil. But also the realization of the fact that I was not as far as I thought I was back then. Which wasn't super nice to like in the moment. It wasn't super cool. But at the end of the day, it really it was necessary. I had to like kind of go bite the dust. In that way, that I don't know. It was just really important that I went back to the drawing board. And got my act together almost in a way. I think that was really important. But you're tired too as well? Waiting for it to drop back. Yeah, I think it's looking really good, Steffo. And again, the trailer, to me, it's more like a... Of course, there are some effects used, right? Let's not get it twisted. It's not 100% like it's gonna look in game. Because I added motion blur, for example, and the game doesn't have it at the moment. So it's not gonna be a 1-to-1, but I tried keeping it as close as possible, yeah. That will actually come alongside the 3.0 tutorial video. So there is, I'm going to keep that in mind, because a lot of people have asked me that question. So it is gonna be, it is gonna be in the tutorial for then. Yes, Stefan, that is new. So the pack will now ship with that function in the free camera. So you trigger it with F5, and then with F4, you can change between the bolt tracker or the chase cam, which admittedly needs a bit of work. The chase camera, the bolt tracker works really well. But yeah, that is a new feature. So for example, manager POVs are now going to become really feasible. Also, there is going to be glass reflections in the game now. So that is 0.5 we need to do, and 0.4. Yeah, no, yeah, nah, I get that, and it's to be fair, it's long overdue. It is on Patreon now as well. Hang on, I'm getting a call. Right. I am so sorry for that. I had to take a call right there. So, but I'm back right now. Diogo, it wasn't a she. Sadly. But Phil, as for the crowds, how they are gonna work. So how it's gonna work, I'm actually gonna showcase this because I have it open right now. Now again, I'm not a front-end developer, so I did use Anthropic's Claude for this to give me like a basic outline. Let me see here. I need to now go into the chat, like MMO. Ah, that's GIMP. It doesn't actually see it. So let me switch over to my screen instead. There we go. So Phil, if you're still here. So how it's going to work is all the stadiums that you've got. You get a seat map. I need to hide my chat for a quick second. So please do excuse me. There we go. Chat box and chat box. So how it's going to work? You're going to see a aspect ratio right on top here. So when you load something in, for example, for La Bombonera, what I can probably do is Argentina. So PES, thankfully, they have a lot of choreographies already. What is the alternative name again for Bombonera? I forgot. Let me look here. It is also called Jose Armando. Yeah. There we go. Interestingly, this one doesn't have a choreography. Let me have a look. Assets. There we go. Huh. Maybe it's an older version. I should have them. I saw them before. Well, anyway, this works regardless. So I'm just gonna rename this as Choreo 1. You guys can't see this because it's on my second monitor. But there we go. So now you can add a warm-up. So it's gonna auto-select warm-up because it needs to toggle something. And you can select the zones. So the zone corresponds with the color that you're gonna see on the seat map itself. Right? So I'm gonna load up GIMP. Why can't I see GIMP now? Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. So I've got a choreo right here. This was for Stuttgart. I've already got that one saved. So now I'm gonna see here. And it needs to be 530 by 785. So we'll do a scale image. 530 by 7. What was it? 785. Yeah. So we'll scale it up to this level. So you get something like this. I will overwrite it. And then by clicking Browse PNG, you can go to the path of your choreography, which in my case is this one. So you select it, and then I will overlay it on top of here. So right now we can select whether we want it at a warm-up, whether we want it at the team lineup. Usually what I do is I will select these 3. We can check this in game soon. We'll just select all zones. All the home ones at least. And the neutral one. You can set up a duration for how long you want this event to be on screen. So say you want to also do this for a goal, right? I need to still make a function that duplicates it for ease of access. But say we only want it to be live for 30 seconds. So we can save this now, which means that on warm-up, on team lineup, and on kickoff. And probably you can remove warm-up. So you can probably only do kickoff. Right, so at kickoff, you'll have 30 seconds of this choreography. You can also click if you want it to be a wave or not. That is completely up to you. But let's do it for the sake of showcasing it. So now, only at kickoff will we do this. I've now saved the choreo. I need to go and look in my directory, because I haven't got everything auto-mapped just yet. I'm close though. So there will still be a few things that need to be fixed. Yeah, there we go. That is in the mapping. Great. So now I've saved the choreo. We can close down the app. I will open up the game. That was the wrong game. Oh, you can also see I'm working towards the wetness of the pitch. Which, taken out of context, is something wildly different, isn't it? Right. So if I load up the game... We are at the river plate, but still, same difference. So this way, it should actually it should load up right now. Again, it's still not completely watertight, but a lot of stuff is happening. So Boca, I needed to test something out with the river plate, so that is why I needed to switch. But if we go to Boca Junior against Banfield. Now, hopefully... Otherwise, I'm going to make a massive fool out of myself. So yeah, you'll be able to fully customize this. It will be completely in you guys' hands. It is something that I wanted the community to do. Simply because I don't know all the choreographies. Something weird. Okay, there we go. Ah, so this is what I meant with the camera setup. So this one still needed to be done. Let's go for the free camera and zoom out a little bit. So now you can see, because we don't do a kickoff. Let me check if I completely did it correctly. So because we haven't done a kickoff, it's not showing anything. But when we press F9. Hey, Julian. What is up, my dude? So in this case, the rotation of the stadium is wrong. So I need to get that fixed. Yeah, see? So it needs to go 180 degrees the opposite way. So that is something I still need to fix. But as a proof of concept... So you can auto trigger it. It will show up at the specific keyframes and intervals you set up. So yeah, this one just needs 180 degrees rotation. Like a mirroring. So this was my second attempt at this. Which I'm quite happy with. Usually it takes a lot longer. They are a bit too high still. So I need to lower them by half a meter. But those are all just cosmetic things. So you're going to be able to do this completely on your own. It is quite... I think it's quite simple. But yeah. I'm not sure if I'm the best reference. To measure that specific bit. Anyway. Hopefully that answered your question quite well. And if there's any other questions like that, please do let me know. All right. Oh, kind of surprised. Yeah, this one is, because that's our railing. That's a ceiling. That's also ceiling. Is this one? Nope, it's not. All right. So that is that for this. Which means we are now going to be able to start doing the lights. Hey, Declan, what is up, my dude? No, not for Ipswich. We're going to make a Coventry one. There we go. All right. I don't know how long I'm going to stream for tonight. I am quite shattered because it was quite late last night. Yeah, I'm really happy with the trailer. I can't lie. I'm doing well. I'm tired, but I'm doing well. The trailer really kind of blew up, which I thought it would, like, I knew it would get some traction, but the amount of traction has been crazy in my opinion. So yeah, it's nice to see that it's got a really nice reach in terms of, you know, getting out there. Yes, 100%. Phil. I'm not sure about flags just yet because that needs vertex texturing, which means, yeah, that was wild, man. I think it was like one thing that could be really cool is to compare the two trailers together and see in terms of views. Yeah, let me see what the current one is at. So the current one after it wasn't 350. That was a lot. So this one is now at 74k. I can go into my profile and I can look at the highlights because it is definitely on there. Ah, actually, it's not on my highlights. Hang on. I'll just current one has 1.6. Oh, on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about Twitter. I don't know what YouTube was because the first one on YouTube now has. Let me have a look. I haven't uploaded that many videos, thankfully. The first trailer is at 18.6, like it's 18,700. Close enough. Which is still mental to me. That is still mental. To be fair, my most watched video right now is probably the version 2 of the installation pack. Or the installation for version 2, because that's at 99k now, isn't it? Ugh, seriously. Like what are they trying to do, Declan? Right, so this one is for the pitch light, which I was quite fond of with Wednesday. So I'm going to be putting the intensity to 25. and a range to 200. So that is from over there. So it works slightly different in FM than in Unity or PES. Which is, it's not a bad thing, it's just a bit of getting used to, I guess. Not sure what you mean with that, Cryptoland. I also don't know what kind of specifications you are running, so it's hard for me to judge exactly how and what you're running into, if that makes sense. Lol. It's the old... So maybe you're too young to know this, but back in the day, listen to me. It used to be a thing where your PC, if it got hacked, you needed to pay for it. You need to, like, essentially it's just ransomware. And then your PC would just get locked down. Are you running the... There's more than just... It's also CPU that is being used. Are you running 2.4 or are you running 2.9 Patreon? Because for 2.4, I cannot offer you support right now. As that is really outdated at the moment. But Patreon 2.9 becomes really interesting. 2.6. Yeah, then I would recommend still waiting for 3.0. Or if you're still a Patreon member, to download 2.9. As a lot of things have been fixed and sorted out. So this can be 25 and a range of 40. Because that is for them, isn't it? Yeah. I'll probably even make that a bit sky blue. There we go. So this one is for... Okay, so that's the same there. Which is good to know. So that is probably the crowd lighting, which can be turned down to 24 with a range of 40. So that is that wall lit up. Hey, Dolby Blue Star. Not yet, mate. Sadly, because I haven't found a way to replace those textures yet at this moment. Sadly, I have a few ideas on how to manage that, but it's not proven effective so far, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, ultimately it is what it is. Let me rotate you around 180 degrees. There we go. Because if we do this, we're gonna have a little bit of blue radiation going on like this, all the way around the roof of the stadium, which I think looks really cool. Unless Tom was ahead of me and he also made it out of this. He didn't. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Dolby. Tell you what, the defense are looking sick. Yeah, I fully believe you, mate. You're doing such a class job. That is, you've done an unreal job, Declan. Oh, you nearly got the Rising done. Oh, that is so sick. Just remember, use async and update. No update, sorry. Async and no update. At least in my experience, that works really well. You use update, you fucked. I should not do Italian accents anymore. So that is for that entry. Right. Hippity hoppity. The banhammer is now your property. There we go. Oh, I just realized stream isn't. Oh fuck! I made a right fuck up out of this, haven't I? I forgot to re-enable the chat. There we go. Hope Villa beats Spurs tomorrow. I don't know. Thank you so much, Zonate Bread. So right now, the furthest that I've really come is Championship. There are a few League One teams in there, but they are few and far between. So, yeah. It's yeah, that. Something I think most people don't realize is just how many requests I get. It is sometimes a bit baffling. Of course, the English lower leagues are a really popular one. But it also needs to stay enjoyable for me, which it isn't always the case. Especially with like the volume of requests. Sometimes it does get a bit eh. So you'll have someone complaining why you haven't made the 4th division of Turkey yet, right? And I'm like, I'm Dutch. Let me at least finish the Eredivisie. Hang on, I need to pick up another phone call. Okay, hey everyone. I'm sorry. Was a really important call to take there. But we're back. Let's see. So that is 6. That's correct. So what I'm doing now is I am adding the benches. So if you don't know, the way the substitutions are now being handled. Before they would just sit like they would squat on empty air, right? But that is completely fixed now. And it's actually quite a simple way to do it, and that is to just place empty objects with a specific name as markers, essentially. So the moment a player takes place on that marker, or that marker, sorry, gets seen and triggered, the game will now know that on that marker a player should be sitting. So it will kind of relocate them to those places. Now in some cases the benches 4, 7, 13. Yeah. So in some cases like this, the bench is too small, which means I'll have to scatter them out a little bit further. To get up to 16. And what we can do is up into here. Coventry. I know it's Coventry City, but I don't think this is an issue like it is for Sheffield and Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United. So I'm just going to call them Coventry. Shoot me. I know some of the Englishmen are really particular with their names, but not this one, Chief. I'm not English either. Just don't call us Holland, that's all. How I wish that I could just... You know what, I'm just going to remove this photographer then. Again, those are like the details that I'll notice. Most people will probably not, but... Sadly, for me, I do notice them. Which means I need to do something about it for myself. But yeah. Also, are you not... Ah. I thought it was going to be an alpha cutout, but it isn't. Right. That is now saved. Let's save the overrides. And let's get to baking the lights. Yeah, let's go. So it is also Ajax versus PSV today, which started right now, like a minute or so ago. Now, you might be noticing that there is a bit of lag on the stream. I shouldn't be dropping frames. But this is down to the fact that we're now baking lights, which is quite resource intensive. So I hope everything is still okay. As you can see on the bottom left-hand side of your corner of your screen. I did finish the Besiktas stadium, yeah, Erim. It is actually in the trailer today that released not too long ago, like at 1. Let's go, Pepe. That's a quick goal. Holy shit. That is a really quick goal. So we lead after a minute. We've rotated our side. Pretty much, like, half the team is rotated. Hey, Richard. What's up, my dude? Hopefully you are well. By the way, do you guys notice a difference with the audio quality? I'm just curious. Because right now I've gone ahead and bought myself a Yeah, Erim. So the flags are actually quite difficult, and the banners. So that is something that is gonna be on a stadium by stadium basis, which is gonna take quite a bit of time. But yeah, so I bought a new camera, which is now you can see it's like 60 FPS instead of the you can count the pixels FPS and resolution. And I've bought a new like voice microphone, so hopefully the audio is a bit more crisp. I've not actually got the stream on. Oh, that's the Gasiorowski with the long hair. That's what I'm seeing on FotMob, at least with the assist. Oh no, that is. Is it Sidilia? I don't have the stream on my PC. Let me see on if there's something on Twitter already. Tell you what I think is really funny though. I'm looking through my notifications now because I've got so many of them. The trailer, right? If you've seen the trailer, did you watch to the end? Just a question. Good evening, Mets. What is up, my dude? So we're currently waiting for the build to complete. I'm just gonna switch to my camera view, so you can see me in 4K 60 right now. But who of you watched to the end of the trailer? Oh, the Arena de Baixada. That one was really cool, for sure. Oh, nice, Mets. That is great to hear. That's lovely to hear. Hey, Okan. What is up, my dude? Yeah, it is. No, just a release date, you know? Just a release date. So many people just keep asking me in the comment of the trailer, when is it coming out? When it literally says it at the end. It's a mystery to me. But anyway, I just find that really funny. Like, it says it and yeah. A bit strange in my opinion, but yeah. Nice. That is that's pretty impressive. To which level have you managed to do it, Mets? No, they don't watch everything. That is true. I just thought I was more clear with this. Also, now that we're just on this view, right? I am a bit sad. I did, Okan. I'm a bit sad because sometimes indoors I like to play around with the football, right? In fact, I've got it right over here. So I was doing keepy uppies, yeah, I lost control, and my blade fell right on the tip. And the handle here broke off. So I'm really sad. And I'm curious, like, what am I gonna do with it? Am I just gonna try and glue it on, or am I gonna build a completely new one from scratch? Because it is quite a huge thing. Like, it's really not small. Oh yeah, and the edge here is chipped off. That my brother did that. Ugh. fucking string. But yeah, so it is quite big. Right, the reason why I wanted to showcase that is because we're still building stuff. Yeah, man. I can be quite careless. Hey, Declan, what's up? Does he get the glue out? No, I don't, because it needs to settle at some point. What do you mean, Mets, with that? As to how you can... I think this is something we need to maybe discuss privately. But yeah, just ask. Oh, this is sick. That is amazing, man. Right, so if you're going to... Oh, you guys can't see this. Fuck, I forgot to switch my scene again. Yeah. So... There we go. We'll make it a physical camera and we'll enable post-processing and TAA. This looks nice. So what I've basically done for those sorts of things, Mets, is... because I remember I struggled a lot with it. How I took it is basically, instead of disabling stuff, I basically recreated them. So I made a function with the same name, but with a different backend. Yeah, Declan, I went over this about 30 minutes ago, I believe, on stream. So the way I did it, Matt, is I used bundles. So in Unity, I would create the bundles, and I would basically tell BebNX that when this function loads, I want you to look up the stadium ID and load the bundle associated with the stadium ID. So I think that might be a similar case for you, maybe. I'm not sure how your architecture is in that regard. But that is how I did the first few things. You're also searching for match events. To which level? Because obviously you've got, for example, kickoff, which is I believe a number 1 event. But you've also got fouls, and you've also got dribbles, which are number 2 and number 3, I believe. So I think that is also important. It logs every event, yeah. So you can put it, what I did for the crowds back in the day was to make a severity. So it would log all the events. I'd make a table with severities. And based on that severity, I would take a pool. But obviously for you, it's really cut and dry if you're doing audio, because for a dribble or for a pass, it's a very simple event. So you can map it out even more simply. Ah, fuck. Ajax leveled. Fuck. Guy of all people as well. You replaced all sounds. Ooh. Ah, that is sick, Declan. Well, in that case, Mets, if you've done that, I'm just trying to think of... You could make it go a bit round robin, like. So that's still based on events. You do stuff. Ugh. But you can still base it around that same principle, but you make it a... Yeah, it's gonna be really tricky because you'll have to use asynchronous instead of update, or because otherwise the performance is gonna be absolutely crazy bad. Probably. Yeah, I'm trying to think. But maybe Declan knows. Because he's more into the audio side of Unity. I'm less so. Commentary for all matches working. Oh, seriously? Oh, sick. Yeah, Dolby. I do plan on adding SPFL. But that will be way down the line. And that is due to the simple fact that I have got other leagues that I want to do. But everything works then, Mets. So yeah. But if you need to hook into my plugins, right? I've got no problem with that at all. Player call names. Oh, nice. Just fine-tuning it. Nice, man. See, I love how active the community suddenly has become. Just be aware of thieves. Sadly. It is sad that I have to say that, but it is a thing. Wow. Maybe you and Declan should work together on this, because it seems like you're pretty much doing a lot of the same things. So yeah, maybe if there's a collaboration there, then something nice can get out of that. That is cool. Really cool. You're not using AI, are you, Declan? Because then I'll come over to England and I'll smack you. That was a semi-joke, by the way. I'm not gonna come over and smack you. But I'm gonna come over and I'm like... To be fair, you don't even need to use tifos that were in the match. You can even... That's why I would recommend to make a community tool. Because at that point, you can just make a tifo yourself and implement that, right? So that will also reduce the burden on yourself. If you basically, I've been making frameworks. Oh, nice. So yeah, that's why I've been making those frameworks. Is anyone can make a stadium and plug into my stadium injection. Anyone. Same for the crowds, same for the kids, same for the choreographies, same for the... The pitches are the only thing that are a bit tough at the moment. But I'm trying to make it as customizable as possible. Because I think the community has so much more value to add than I ever can. I am not gonna know what a derby between Legia Warsaw and Lech Poznan is gonna look like, right? I don't know, because I'm not from there. But if people can make their own stuff in a framework, then suddenly you've got a huge amount of people able to... but that is not Gen AI. There's a difference, Declan, between using an algorithm and using generative AI. So I have no issues with... the first one. I do have a few issues with the latter one. Right, now we need to go and add Coventry into the team mapping. So I need to go and look up in FMREF what that is. Give me a second, boys and girls, and all of that in between. Coventry City, the CBS Arena. Coventry.bundle. I want to save it as a text file, chap. There we go. Alright. I do want to go into that direction as well, Devil, but I'm not sure when. The problem is time. So let's see here. Let's go to that one. Are you sure you have it? Okay, fair enough. How many championship teams have had their stadium made? Let's do some counting. Championships, so that is 3, that is 6, that is 9, that is 12. 14 have been made. So that is 14 championship teams. Out of 24? Out of 24. And therefore, they are the biggest second division in the pack. When Portugal, the Netherlands, let's see, Belgium, they've not even got their top tiers in yet. So hang on, there we go. Yeah, so fuck. Right. So I need to be doing some Blender work as well. First off, I need to rotate the stadium 180 degrees. So it needs to be put at 90, which means I need to do the same in Blender. So we'll do an override. There we go. This can now just go in and render again. There we go. That's a majority. That is true. To be fair, Coventry is... I mean, so all the Premier League is in, right? So all the relegated teams also have theirs in. So Coventry obviously moved up to the Premier League. I believe all the promotion playoff sides also have theirs in. I need to go and look. What was the results today? So that is Championship. Yeah, so the whole top 6 of the Championship, they all have their stadiums in. So that means no matter who's going up or down to the Premier League or Championship, they will have their stadiums. Which is cool. Which is good. Right, anyway, back to Blender for a moment. So I've seen quite a few people complain about the download speeds. And whilst, you know, okay, maybe they're not always optimal, it does cost a fuckload. Right, storage costs a fuckload. So I'm looking into solutions for when FM27 comes out, because I want to start hosting it myself. So I'm looking into a solution for that now, to hopefully get everything on a dedicated server, where, you know, everything will just go out. Well, will just go out and be done really, really smoothly. Hang on, I need to share the thing again, the stream. I think my team has been in the championship for 11 seasons in a row this year. Which team is that? Derby? That's probably that's like a close one, I would imagine. Did you finally create La Cartua? Do you want to go and see it? Fine. First off, let me just quickly copy over Coventry. There we go. So that is now all done. So again, a big shout out to TCS Skins for making the CBS arena. So that should be it now. Oh wait, no, fuck. Sakra. I forgot to copy over the new files, so the crowd's gonna look wonky as all hell now. That's not ideal. Anyway, Bristol City. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see. So we need to leave the match, and then it'll be good. You're using Preston. Inseparable then. Siamese twins. Anyway, let's give this a go around again right now. So that's the CBS. Did Huddersfield get relegated to League One? Because they were in the Premier League like 2016, I want to say. 16, 17. So that's 10 years then. So that's not even them. Swansea is another close one, I think. This one looks lovely, doesn't it? Probably a bit too much red on the stands, but that is quite easy to fix. So let's go and leave the match. I will make a tweak to the config. So crowd inject, we go to kits, England Championship, Cov. And have a look at the kit mapping. So that's number 2. So that needs to go away from here. This needs to be 2. There we go. Let's save that now. And there we go. Let's try this again. Back to Coventry. If I've downloaded the pack and the settings are not showing in game, then it's either a wrong installation. Your antivirus isn't an exception in the... Your antivirus doesn't have an exception in the FM folder. Or it's installed, like, it should work. And if it doesn't, it is probably something on your end, sadly. That's better. Oops. Swansea only 8 years. Oh, I expected way more than that. Yeah, so I need to tweak down the sun a little bit. Or I need to go and select a slightly different skybox. But yeah, I think this one looks really, really lovely, in my opinion. Ah, the seats didn't export again. But yeah, oh yeah, some people wanted to know what manager POV looked like. So this is manager POV. He's dancing around like a crab now, but yeah, this will be manager POV. So if you, for example, go and select a night skybox under the lights, So this is what it will look like under the floodlights. You got the lino chopping your feet off. So there is also the opportunity to tweak the lights however you want with the 3.0. If you want them super concentrated like this, that's possible. You can even go as far as this. Have the streak go all the way. I think that personally, I like it a bit better when it's a bit more spread out, because it gives this wider effect of bloom. But yeah. So again, the seats, I don't know why they didn't render. It was the same with the other one that Tom made. I'm not sure. Anyway, hopefully, I'm not making a fool out of myself, and the goal that we're going to score. Hopefully the crowd are going to go web dog in the stands. That is, at least that's what they should be doing. So you can zoom in like this. Full control. See? The crowds do react. It's not like they're not going mentalist. But they do react. So yeah. Yes, Coventry City, that is correct. Hang on, I need to write up a tweet. Hey, Spyro. It's your home. That's nice. How do you reckon it looks? Alright, so that is championship. I'm sorry if I'm not reacting too much with the stream at the moment. I'm writing out a tweet. That is EFL probably. TCS, there we go. Then we need to go into my screenshots folder to grab a few more. So I think what I'm also going to be doing is one when it's night, like this. Maybe from the other direction. God, I love this skybox specifically. It looks so good. I can't get over that. There we go. All right, that is out now. Cool. So I'm sorry for not responding to chat. It looks so good, Sparrow. That is great to hear, Sparrow. Some good shit here. That is really strange, Kai. Singer's Corner, that's called. I assume they sing a lot here then, Spyro? So Nikos, that is actually something that you need to take up with with Setham. Because he made the scoreboards. Big drum as well. Nice. So yeah, I love how the boulder stays visible as well, by the way. But yeah, that is number 2 of the stream that we've visited. If you like what you're seeing, do leave a like. Happy to. I'm happy if you subscribe, which you don't need to do, but that is there. Is that really true, Mets? I don't know. I don't see. I think I get plenty of credit. I think people like yourself and like the database makers are sorely undercredited in the community. Thanks, Nikos. The Stadia mod, it can work on MacBook, West Sefi, but you will need to use crossover. It will not work on MacBooks natively, sadly. And if it could, I would have done it an age ago, but I sadly cannot. So yeah. Again, look, I really want to get it out of MacBook because I get so many questions about that, and I'm like, lads, I want to do it, but I can't. Yeah, it's that bit, Mets, and again, I put on that point a little while ago. I think because I stream this, people see, especially at the start, right? Because I stream a lot less now than I did 4 months ago, but people will see the effect. The time investment that it takes. And I think streaming really helps in bringing out that effort to the viewer. Because at the start of like my modding journey, I basically did a live stream every day of 8 to 9 to 10 hours. So I think people back then, they knew it, that like it was a lot more visible. And after 3.0, I want to get back to streaming again because I do enjoy it. So after 3.0, my 3 big ones are Netherlands, Portugal, and Japan. I want to get into properly, like really properly. No, that is correct, Mets. Like we often say, if everyone who downloads it gives a euro or a dollar, you'd have 100k on your bank account at least, right? Which is crazy. But yeah, I had Master Official. He is someone who makes mods for Skyrim. He put out a mod. I believe he said it was downloaded 15,000 times, and he only made $1 off of Nexus. Or €1, £1. At least like the currency that he uses. And I'm just sitting there like, what the F? And it would be worth every penny. I mean, Leo came into the chat a few weeks ago, and he just basically said, you know, Patreon, €10 a month. That is 2 coffees at Starbucks. And for that money, you can support a creator who does it, or you can support a so it's less than a Netflix subscription, right? But I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. That's why I leave it with the user. But if that's the way I grade games. For example, if I spend €60 on a game, When do I get that 60 euros back? Is it when I have 60 hours of fun out of the game? Is it when I have 10 hours of fun out of the game? Yeah, that's gonna take a lot longer than a year, Devil. Simply because of the fact that so much of it needs to be made from scratch and by hand. But yeah, value is a very complex thing. Because if you look to South America, 10 euros is living for a week or not. But here it's 2 coffees. Right? It's totally different economies, and that makes it such a tricky thing when you look towards globalization and the world economy. Maybe you guys weren't here for the political chat. If you are, then welcome. But I think it is very interesting how certain events and certain situations kind of have effects on each other. I know I never get that time back, which is why after 3.0 I'm gonna take, I'm gonna reduce a lot of the. So the thing people do, again, I put it in the trailer, right? 1500 hours. It's close to 16, but you know, it's hard to believe. But after 3.0, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna go away for a little bit, spend some time with the people around me in my life. My friends, the people that I've kind of been neglecting a little bit. Because that happens. It absolutely does. You're not getting it. It's a hobby, and it's really tough, because I don't. Of course, I need to get paid now because I spend such a significant portion amount of time on it. But if it's a hobby, then it's something I do when I come home, and I am able to make a living off of it now, Matt, which is really cool. I think it's really cool that I've got so many people who are willing to put their own money towards me. Even if it's just a really small portion, maybe. Or a really big portion, and maybe in some cases. I'm just really humbled by that fact that people are willing to spend money on me to allow me to keep doing this. I think that is, for me, the main takeaway. And I hope you do too, because I know you've been active in the scene for a long time. And you've maybe not always had your flowers. Or had that maybe major breakthrough. And I do hope you will still get it. I don't know if you've seen what's been happening with the content theft recently. I would imagine you do, but just asking. Yeah, for sure, Carlos. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say here is I can sit here as a big fat European going, 10 euros is not that much, but to some populations that 10 euros is a month, is like a week of food or more. Right? So I don't want to discriminate in this regard. That's why it's always been free. Or there has always been a free version. But it's fucked. Because I want to be inclusive in this regard. I want to... But at the same time, food for me, 10 euros. I can barely eat one day for 10 euros. So that is the global economy that is really, really tricky. And one of the things that I've really come to learn, there is no way of doing it correctly. There is no way you can do things in a way that everyone is going to be happy with. So I won't. Which is a bit sad in my opinion, but it's the only way. So what's been going on is Miguel. And again, I really want to hammer this point home. So Miguel FM Edwards. I think he had so much potential. He still has. It's why I'm so sad with what's been happening. So basically, he took the foundation of Declan and Setham's plugins. Didn't change anything, uses the same signatures. And now ships them behind a paywall on Patreon. And the reason why I'm so upset with that is Miguel is someone who has proven he can do it without. So I'm really disappointed with the fact that he has been stealing, if that makes sense. So he's taken them, put them on Patreon for a paid version. But he's been developing a lot of his own. But he basically doubled down and went crybaby this, crybaby that. And I'm like, that's not the mentality, dude. That is not the mentality. It's hard to put it into words, but I'm so sad it went down this way. Because I really wanted him to redeem himself, to come forward and say, yeah guys, I fucked up. I'm not gonna do this in the future anymore. Because ultimately it's a foundation of trust. And I'm so sad that it went down the way it did. Because ideally, he just says, sorry, didn't really think about that. We both move on with our days, everyone moves on with their days, and we have a very talented modder as well. And now it's just, yeah. It's so fucked up. I really wanted him to succeed. I just can't if you're putting other people's stuff on there and then selling it off as your own. I think that's really difficult for me to it's really difficult for me to understand that perspective. Now we're not going to do 900 intensity. We're going to do 25. With that range is fine. Now you don't need a lens flare. Thank you, Carlos. I want everyone to be able to enjoy it. Because, as I usually say, I have had significant moments in my life where I couldn't afford stuff. And then a mod was, you know, something that gave me happiness. So if I'm able to do stuff like that for other people, then I'm happy. Tyler, no, this will only work on a smart fridge. Sorry, mate. Of course it works. It is made for PC. No, your old Texas Industry one. I used to play, what was it, Pokemon Crystal? No, not Crystal. Was it Crystal? I don't know. But I used to play one of the old Pokemon games on my Texas Industries calculator during class. Even managed to smuggle it into the exam. Genjutsu. I've got no clue. Feel free to try, but let me know. Let me know if you get it right. But I've got no clue, mate. Go for it. I will say that is the most different question I've had for a long time. So credit for that one, Genjutsu. I rate it. I really do. But yeah, let me know, Richard. I know you've been here for a few streams. Is the audio quality actually better, or do I need to go and soundproof my room? Because I've bought one of a Shure microphone, which is specifically for voice and for streaming. Well, not streaming, studio mostly, but it should work. So I hope the quality is more crisp. I still need to figure out a lot. Okay, yeah, you didn't even notice. That tells me enough. But yeah, I got a new microphone and I got a new camera. Yeah, but you'll have to de-asset bundle it. Now, I'm not gonna tell him how to do that. He's free to try that on his own. You're a boomer. I don't know shit about audio either. But I knew that I wanted to upgrade. Yeah. I am not watching Don. No. I am not watching. But I am following the match. But yeah, Carlos, so he was... And that is... I have an issue with this, right? Not with this, like the ceiling itself. He built on it. So he took the plugin and he improved. Switch. Good. Thank you so much for the Prime, Olympian. So I don't have an issue with that. It's the way that he kind of doubled down on it, which I think is the wrong way to go about it. Specifically because Satham had contacted him beforehand and he just got ignored. It's such a shame how it went down. I hate how good Grot is. I'm sorry. But yeah, that is. What you're playing your Porto save? Nice. As for IPTV, no comment. If I speak, I in trouble. Because essentially what I'll be doing is endorsing piracy on my stream. Which, not sure Law is going to be too happy with that. I think you should have just apologized. Exactly, Carlos. And man, I really wanted him to redeem it, and I hope he sees this because he blocked me on all platforms further. But yeah, yeah. I just wished he went a different route. And I have, yeah. It's such a shame. I mean. Of course, you're free to do whatever you want. I cancelled my own subscription to him. Because I tried to be on Patreon to every mod creator. To support them as well. Because I think the scene needs to grow. But I can't be supporting that, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's such a shame. Yes, Don, that is correct. Now that you mentioned the trophies, that is something that I haven't been able to fix. Fix for 3.0. So that is something that I will need to investigate still. So if anyone has got a save right before a final, it will be really, really appreciated if you'll be willing to send that over. What's the extension of stadium files? .bundle. hang on. So because I got this microphone today, I still need to like do my personalization stuff on it. So I actually got this. It's from someone I hold very dear, who sadly isn't among us anymore. So I like to keep this like close to the microphone because I spent quite a bit of time here. You're about to launch the stream in 5 minutes while you're testing? Oh, sure. If you're not subscribed, lads, why not? Look at what he's... Thank you so much, Richard. To test if the trophies turn black or not. Because currently trophies, I believe they still do turn black a little bit. And I want to be able to change that. Just beat City 5-2. If you knew that before, I would have sent you. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I just answered that question, Don. It is, again, to test... hang on, I need to clear use out. Then we go to the benches. Empty. Bench. Order. Home. And we need to make a new... I spent 8 hours on Camp Nou. But that is, or the Camp Nou, because it is made for pets. But I still have to adapt it to FM. Right, but the adaptation process itself took 8 hours for Camp Nou. And that was one of the more smooth ones. So a lot of work goes into preparing and in some cases updating sponsors, updating logos, updating whatever. Thanks, Carlos. I was really happy with Camp Nou as well, yeah. So I assume everyone here saw the trailer. Yeah, sadly, look. As for the Ayakas one, I am so angry with how good it looks. I am just gonna... I hate how good it looks. But, do you want to see a little thing? Because I have been a bit naughty. I have been a tiny bit naughty. Because, as they are my rival in real life, I needed to get something in there. So, are you guys ready? Oh, you don't have the problem with... Huh? Okay, strange. There we go. Ah, what's happening with the lights on the players? Something is happening at least. There we go. Ah, it's the threshold, isn't it? The player clamp. There we go. So, I added 2 pieces of shite. Right here. So I thought this was quite harmless. No, that shouldn't be normal at all, Don. Or are you talking to Pluto? Because I genuinely don't know what's happening in chat now. I'm a bit confused. But yeah, so that is... I've been a bit naughty with IX. Because, again, I hate how good the stadium looks. So I needed to do something. Oh, to me. Alright. But yeah, the glass has reflections now. The metal has reflections. Yeah, the problem, Don, is that I can't scroll upwards. There was no poop before. The poop is new. Kinda how that season has been going. So the stadiums, the performance has raised dramatically. It's suddenly really hot, so I think it's gonna be thundering really soon. Because it's a bit gusty as well now suddenly. So yeah, Don, that is a bit of the problem. I can't scroll upwards. And I can't normal load a save on my Steam Deck. Can you click anything at all, Don? What's the average FPS on average stadium? For me now, I never go below 165. But I have a 4080. So I know that is not the benchmark. But on my laptop, I don't go below 100. Which is about 4 years old. So what I think happens now, Don, on your desktop is you have a plugin in your plugins folder called Sinai Dev Unity Explorer. So Carlos, my monitor is limited at 165 frames per second. Which version are you on, Carlos? Also, I will be quickly hopping over to Mets. Because he started his stream. Oh, that is strange. I don't think that is related to the stadium pack.
Whip towards goal, chasing after it, and he cuts out the pass with it.
Hang on,
and
let's.
Blown his whistle. Looks like he's assessing his options, not in any rush at all. Bruce links up Mukiele.
Yeah, that's sick, bro. That is sick, Mats. If you're still here.
Quickly played out here. And he darts past him.
Nice.
Nudged into the box. Unguarded on the right-hand side. And out to safety.
So this is Mets' stream,
like
who was just here.
Absolutely no rush at all here.
That's really cool.
Well dealt with. A bit lacking in movement. He's wrapped that into his path. Oh, well played. Plenty of numbers back.
Nah, the poop is gonna stay. No, this is not Declan. This is Mets.
A more controlled outlet taken. Rolls
So, yeah.
it back into support. Cash. He's weaved past him.
Yeah, man, looks really, really cool. I don't believe Mets has a Twitter. What I will do is I will copy his Twitch link into the chat. There we go. So hopefully I will also be putting it in the YouTube chat, and then I will get the music back going. DJ, where's the music? Here it is. Then you have to do a special poop free pack for me. No. Hang on a minute. Oh, wow. We're at 8,666. Yeah, it's really, really cool, Matt. I'm really, really... that looks really, really cool. So Carlos is asking if it is released, but I don't think it is. You're still developing it, aren't you? So what I noticed was that the sound was cutting off a little bit here and there. I think one of the things you can do is make a priority override. So when something of priority 3 is or priority 2 is playing. Because what are you segmenting it like that now as well? Nah, Pluto. I'm not gonna be that evil. Because everybody can replace their textures, right? If you go to UABEA, which is a handful to say still, you can actually open up the bundles and you can extract the textures and replace them yourself. Now, I'm not a UABEA expert, nor will I ever be one, but it is possible. So if you're as autistic as me, which I am by the way, so I'm allowed to say this, you can actually open up the files and you can remove certain things and you can edit textures. I forgot that I'm back in Unity, so cheers for that. So yeah, if you are as autistic as I am, you can actually achieve this quite easily. Oh yeah, it's smelling like ozone. It's definitely raining now. Autumn, it is a superpower. It is. Livorno de Armanda PC. Legusta, that will probably be after 3.0. A TF2 coconut JPEG copy. I don't know the lore about that one, sadly, Turbo or Pluto. I'm sorry. But yeah, Mets, if you're still here, that is tremendous work. That is tremendous. Well done, man. Now I earn a poop fee. Again, you can remove them from the bundle. Oh, nice. In-game as well. That is cool. I mean, I assume it's in-game. Unless you're having to do it through an external application, which I guess also works. Let's export the... That's what I was going to do. I was going to... I already baked them. Okay, top job. So that means we can export the... cube maps. You can also turn off commentary. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Also, do you guys want to see something else cool that I've made with the 3D printer? Wait, hang on. What? That is wild, Don. Hey, Everlasting Apathy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The bench is having staff. They do feel a little lonely. I agree. And frankly, I've not got an idea how to do it. Thank you, Legusta. That is so nice to hear. Thank you. So let's build Bude Glimt. That's great. Reason uninstalled. Chance models. How absolute. Yeah. Probably Genjutsu. Probably. While this one builds, I'm going to switch to my camera. And that is because this is the Ace of Spades, which is a gun from Destiny 2. So I make and 3D print my own stuff. I need to do the mechanism here. Need to redo it. It's got a working trigger. And it's got a... I believe for FM27, we are going to be mostly fine. Obviously, that is just a thought, but it is a well-educated one. I've also got this. So it is a metal batarang, which you can throw, and it will actually stick. It will like chop into wood surfaces and stuff. So I'm a bit of a craftsman in this regard. Something I really like to do. It also flies. So yeah. No, there is not a way to do that. And I don't intend on making a way for it to do it yet. Because I just have too much on my mind. I'm gonna get something else. So this is my latest project that I'm still working on. It's the full Blades of Chaos from God of War. I really like them. But yeah, so you can see I'm a bit of a enthusiast. No, because they're part of the Stadium Everlasting Apathy. So I've also made the Leviathan axe. As you can see, it's damaged. It fell apart when I was doing the finish up job. But when it was still whole, it was actually really cool. This one weighs about 2.5 kilos. Slightly too much. So yeah. But because it was broken, I'm now making a replacement. Which I'm really miffed about because I think the wood texture, like this is all hand painted, right? So this is 3D printed and then all hand painted and sanded. But the wood texture on this looks phenomenal. Also with the leather band. The problem is getting them back to the place they were. Yeah, I've cocked this up a little bit. Oh well. So yeah, that is one of the hobbies of mine, is to make video game weaponry in real life. Let's see, did I also have Sun? No, I didn't finish Sunshot. When are we going to on a raid to England? In the 1200s. I should make the Lich King sword, absolutely. I have a few in the pipeline. But yeah. Crowns was holding the squares. Color squares. Not sure what you mean. I am a man. No, I'm just a man with too many hyperfocuses. I actually used to. I sold one. I don't know if I can go onto Etsy right now and find it. I stopped doing this because the time investment was just way too much. Especially... Oh, no, I have to relog in. Okay, nah. But the time investment was just way too much. So, Yo. I'm up and against social content. That's also a way to put it. But I don't know if anyone is interested in like a workshopping stream. I think that's a bit far removed from the content I'm doing right now. Even though it's also 3D modeling and 3D making and stuff like that. So, gonna sit here with the camera to my hands and like me sanding and stuff. Thank you so much, Sahin. Right, let's go into the game and let's go and test out Bude Glimt. You beat City 5-2 with no problem, but I struggle versus Sporting. Yeah, the game does that sometimes. The game does that sometimes, sadly. It's the same with us for Vasco in the Vasco save. We go 5 wins in a row and then 3 0-0 draws in a row, which is a bit strange, but it happens. Oh yeah, you might also see in the background. You would have seen it on the camera just now. Let's test out the stadium first, and then I'm going to switch. Okay, this is one we need to place a camera. Good to know. If I place my camera, you can see that old PlayStation 3 in the background. Right over, well, there. So that one is also fully, it's in the process of being custom made. I'm in the process of making it custom, I should say. So this is also God of War related. So it's still in the early phases. But it's in Alfheim. So in the Ragnarök game. And yeah, it is the Master Sword. With a bit of terminal damage. But it is a full-sized... with a sheath. With a carry-on thing. So I can make it a leather strap for, well, to do this with. Yeah, so it's fully 3D printed. That was my first ever 3D print. So I went really big, really right off the bat. I have a Swedish Norwegian. He's from, his mom is from Bude. Okay. Cool. Well, Bude is like, it's so far north. Conan the Barbarian sword. Yeah. Alright, let's head back to Unity. I keep mucking up my Blender and my Unity hotkeys, so... Also, FBI, I do not make real functioning weapons. If you're watching this stream, and you're having suspicion, fair enough. I do not make firing weapons. Luleo. Yeah. It is quite close. But you're talking about proximities then when like normal people would be like, ah, that's still like that's really far. But you're like, nah. Really isn't, mate. Ivan, yes, I will be trying to make creation stadiums later down the line. For sure. When they will be available, when they are ready. I have... Look, you're 7 people before you. Thank you for the subscription, Biggie. But 7 people before you have already asked their own nation. Darn it, it wasn't too far for me to Narvik. Fair enough. I always used to love history. I still do, by the way. I still do. But it is, history is so fascinating. I have too much energy, really. Viking history, yeah. I mean, I love how English is... And more so Scottish. But English is basically... a mix of Dutch, Scandinavian, Norwegian, Old Norwegian, and Gaelic. No, I won't, Noam. I will not be making Israel or Russia Russian stadiums because I don't feel comfortable doing them. Nice one, Dale. Nice one, that lad. But yeah, so no Russian, no Israeli, and I'm quite close to not doing any American because I just so fundamentally disagree with what they're doing, and I just don't feel comfortable doing them. But that is just me and my view of it. Yeah, we're just waiting on the build now. Then we're going to place it in. Yes, Noam. Correct. I just don't like to take a stance on... Or like, I like to take a stance on that. But on the other hand, social, like the public is sometimes really, really intense. So I'd like to not get myself too involved in that. Regardless of who is right or wrong, I don't think wars should be condoned. That is just my vision of this. Call me naive, whatever. Don't really care. When innocents die, it's far beyond what I can reasonably support. You should be able to do most of it yourself, Noam, if you follow the streams along. So I'm not going to stop you or anyone from doing this. Emre, please show me how, because I will be the first one to do so. So please do show me how. Because I think the pitches look quite good. And you shouldn't be fooled by what Unity shows. Okay, so the stadium is copied over right now. Cool. You realize I sold that PvP. That's my unk for it, so nice. That is so cool, man. That is really, really cool, Don. So my grandfather, he well, he had 7 older brothers. He was the youngest in the family. Thank you, James. That is good to hear. But the oldest of the sons was sent over. Sakra. I will need to flip the stadium around, don't I? Actually, aside from the managers, this is probably good. Need to lower those down a bit. But he was put in a concentration camp. And when he got out, he would never ever talk about what was going on in those camps. So just for reference, my family is not Jewish at all, but he was a resistance fighter. So he got placed in a concentration camp as a result. And he never ever spoke about this to anyone else. Because he was of the opinion that the horrors that were happening over there, no one should have to be subject to. No one. Which I always thought is a really interesting... was a really interesting perspective. And I never really got to talk to him because he died when I was 4 years old. But that was such a... when my grandfather told that story, it was such an eye-opener. I have a Discord server. There's a link in the description down below, Noah. So you can open it up and join us right there. He was the only one who was on the border and helped Norwegian fleeing to Sweden. He never told me once about it. Yeah, I think that is really important, Don. And to be honest, sounds like you're... yeah. Sounds like your uncle was a very honorable man. Which is nice, which is really cool. So yeah, I think you should cherish that, man. So for us, for the 4th and the 5th are Remembrance Day and Liberation Day. And I think we should always keep doing those things from a position of respect, a position of remembering the people who used to fight for our freedoms. And as an important reminder to keep fighting for that freedom. You know, I think that is one of the most important things that we can do. Now, what I want to do for Buda specifically is, and I shouldn't have built it really. What I want to do is make a specific version of the pitch for Buda. Oh, really? That is really cool, Don. Wow. I was in Carlisle last summer. Nice one, Richard. Just say it, mate. You're not being judged. When I was in Carlisle, they have a military museum over there, and they did it really well because at a certain point you were walking through a trench, like a World War I trench. So behind the glass, what's it called? The cabinets. You could see, like you felt like you were walking in a trench. And that made quite an impression on me last summer. Because at that point, I realized that kids my age or younger were in those trenches. Right? They were fighting a war that they did not want to participate in. But they did it in such a good way. Where it wasn't in your face, it wasn't in... It just... You felt it. Which I think is the best way to tell history. Is to feel it, to... You know, to live it, essentially. Yeah, we celebrate the Canadians a lot. My Norwegian teacher actually had a very when I was in elementary school. She had a very gripping story about her own grandfather. So he was also placed in a concentration camp, sadly. And when the Russians came to liberate that concentration camp, the first thing that my old Norwegian teacher's grandfather did was scurry over to a bin. And the Russian soldiers, because he was malnourished, he was starving, right? So he always held a grudge towards Russians because they withheld him from eating food in his eyes, which is like you kind of feel it's completely bonkers, right? But at that point, you've got to be in the position to like understand it and to. It's so foreign, if that makes sense. I just think it kind of goes to show how good certain parts of the world have it. I'm not gonna say the whole world has it, but certain parts of it certainly have it really good. Your grandfather was 20 when he was forced to go to the border. Yeah. Oh, that is really cool. It's Swedish, but I can probably make up the bulk of it. Yeah, that would be really cool, dude. Yeah, but it's there, and it's quite like, as a kid, I couldn't understand it, right? Because you're getting liberated, you're getting freed. Why are you upset? But now that I've grown a bit older and I see more perspectives, it's kind of really understandable in a very twisted way, which I think is just, yeah, it's strange. It is super strange. How stupid sometimes you are as a kid. Or maybe not stupid, but unknowing. I think unknowing is the better explanation. Yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, that history tangent aside, I hope anyone who is still here didn't get too disheartened by that. I really should have subdivided this bitch a bit more. Fuck's sake. It's fine. We'll figure out a way. We always do. Is it? Because I don't think history is positive. I just think it's a tool that we need. We need history to prevent us from making the same mistakes over again. Because people have made them. So why the fuck are we doing the same? I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I hate how tiled this looks. Fuck. Because usually this is what it looks like, right? But this is obviously way, way, way too large. Stripe count can go to 0. But yeah, I think it's some of the best stuff you can do is learn up history. So much of the world becomes starts to make sense if you know history. And that might sound really strange, but trust me, it really does. It's super informative. And I wish schools were more. The problem with schools and history is you need to learn history because someone says you have to learn history. Not with the idea that history is something to learn from. Not with the idea that history can be a very effective tool in understanding the future. And usually history teachers, you either have one of two. It's super enthusiastic, knows everything, fucking starts role-playing. And you have the other one, who is just like the most boring sod you've ever seen. There is no in-between for history teachers. And I think history is one of those subjects where the teacher makes so much of a difference. You have to... Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain it. Emre, didn't mean to expect you. No, I know, but yeah. I think the original pictures actually look quite bad in FM. Oh, mate, thank you so much. I'll check it out right away. Oh, mate, I've just seen it. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I see, man. I'll read it tonight because that is genuinely, that is so cool. Yeah. I hate to kind of snap like from and within because it's really sentimental maybe to you, but yeah, I find those things really difficult to react to. But Emre, to get back to your point, is the problem is one, getting textures that look good, and problem two, my lighting is so different that I fully rebuilt FM's original pitch shader because that is what we're working with. What happens with those shaders is you need to write them, they need to function, they don't need to get garbage collected. But the original FM pitches actually looked worse with my lighting than these ones, because they are very particular about lighting angles. So it actually didn't work as well as I imagined it would. I'm pleased with this. Come on, PSV score. Come on, keep the lead now, boys. Richard Hewitt, I do plan on creating non-league stadiums, but that will be down the line, mate. It's a bit old Swedish, like was born 1911. No, I will try to understand it, because I think asking a language model is cheating. I want to understand it. Wrexham Stadium is already in 2.9, James, so that's on Patreon. But then, of course, to answer your question, yes, it is going to be in 3.0. There we go. Now let's try it out in game once again. I love, by the way, just as a side note, right? I love how different people pronounce my name. Mr. Red, that can be found in the description down below on YouTube. It is a link to a Google Doc. But I've been pronounced Bassy, Bossy, Batty, Bassy, Bassy, Bassy. Like, no one apparently knows how to pronounce my name, which is kind of fun. Alright, so with the pitch, it needs to be a little bit brighter, I would say. But I will let you guys be the judge of that. No problem, Mr. Red. Have a good day, or night, or evening, or morning, wherever you are. Take care, lad. I just think it's really funny how differently my name is pronounced. No one really knows what it's like. I just think that's funny. So I don't know how long we are gonna keep going. It is current. Oh fuck! It's almost 10 already. Christ. Yeah. Oh, I probably need to rebake the lighting probes as well. Fuck's sake. So much comes with this. With like the tweaking is the most time consuming, right? That is just that's just a stated fact. Is yes, James. All of them have. And so like it's a bit cheaty in a way because some stadiums they still have the lights from like 2.4 no not 2.6 sorry, but that feels like it's years ago, which is just odd. So they will look a little bit worse than the other ones, even though they are technically part of the same thing. But for example, AC Milan, I'm gonna show this on stream right fucking away. So, like, San Siro is no longer dark, boys and girls, and the rest. I'm sorry to say, but it's no longer dark. I swear, if I see one more message saying this is dark, I will take the first flight over. And I will show them it isn't. I was gonna say something else, but that would technically be bodily harm, so we're not gonna do that. Grievous bodily harm, I guess that's what the abbreviation is for. As you can see, the San Siro is not dark. In fact, it is far from dark. Now, I've not yet set up a choreography for the San Siro. What do you mean with the stairs, Don? Oh, yeah. So for the ones who have a really poor seat map, I have fixed that, yes. But you will see, for example, here. Did I? Oh, I did fix this one. Nice. So I need to make the start animation so that they're all sitting down. And I still want to get diversity in, because now everyone is like Steve and Paul and Carlo. But they need to be, like, there needs to be a Deshaun in between that, and there needs to be a LeBron in between, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm still looking to add that. Long overdue, by the way. That was something I needed to do at the Budo Stadium, but I forgot. ADHD moments. Oh yeah. Reflection probes. See, they still have the old pitch. No, Don, because that is you can actually change that yourself. So if you go into the plugins folder and go to your kits. Sorry. Go to your kits. Portugal. Porto. You can go inside that folder. And you can override the kits that way. So you can import your own using the FM kit converter, which I will make a tutorial for ahead of 3.0. So I will be making 4 or 5 tutorials ahead of 3.0. So that I have covered all bases. Which is also a way people pronounce my name, apparently. But yeah, so that I plan to take care of that, yes. No problem, my dude. So I think this will be the last one that we're gonna do this night. That means we'll have been live for about 3 hours, which is not too bad. Again, the promise is still there. If we reach 10,000 subscribers, we will do a 10-hour live stream. Or, sorry, a 24-hour live stream. Which is gonna be ridiculous. From which I will be making sure that all of the donations and like the super chats are gonna make it a charity stream. So like an Ask Me Anything charity stream. And all of the I'll make a community poll, and all of the incomings, they will go to a charity that we're gonna choose together as a community. So yeah. If you are interested in that, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't think I need to make the bridge, but hey. You can sleep when you're dead. That is that's like a super Dutch a phrase, but there you have plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. The Dutch are like very not subtle in the way they have their phrases. Still waiting for the bundle, by the way, to be built. Swedish or North Swedish. Hur mår du? Det är jämna plågor. Yeah. Exactly. All right, that is now built. Let's try out this this last bundle build. That's it. That's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna call it a night on the stream. So, Glimt. Final test run. This is what I mean with it, like the tweaking. That is the thing that takes the longest. The Master Crime. No, not really. Because all you need is a ball texture, a ball mesh, and my own shader, which I am not going to share. For now, at least. Sadly. But that is simply because of the content theft that has been going around. I wonder if a different Nightbox, Skybox. No, it seems like this grass is just very dark in itself. I also don't know why this is still casting a shadow. Anyway, I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own. Or keep it as is. Because it is Astro. It is AstroTurf. There are plenty of Indians on YouTube who can do that. Hey, Valentino. Yeah. I'm gonna need to rotate the stadium, don't I? Fucking shit. I also need to touch up that. I need to rebake the stadium lights for this to work. Fuck. Anyway. That is that. Are we on Twitch? We've got 2 viewers. I don't think that warrants a raid. So I want to thank. Are you streaming on Twitch often? I stream on both platforms at the same time. I don't stream on one of them. I stream on both. I don't know if that is because I have a multiple feed, so I can see both. But with that said, I want to thank everyone who has been here tonight for the attention, for everything. I plan on streaming again tomorrow. Fucking hell, Mika Grotz. And he scores a 2-2. The cunt. The fucking cunt. Ah! Ajax made 2-2. Fuck! No, Almir. That is not modified yet. Also, sorry for the French when you entered the stream. But yeah, I suggest this is what we call it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I wish everyone a very, very, very nice night or evening or day or whatever it is for you. Thank you so much. My name has been BassyBoy. I hope I will catch you all later. So, without further ado, see you guys in the next one. Ciao!